You kind of lost 10 years of life to get back on a zero. And the doctor show up, I think it was almost midnight, and I eat last time, whatever, pre-game meal, 3 p.m., whatever. And the doctor was like, "You're about to be my last patient, right?" And I was like, "Doc, I never had in my life having to be last in anything. So how about we come tomorrow morning and do this?" I mean, he was psycho, man. He was learning, I guess, all these languages so he can talk shit, like literally. I was shocked that he was actually cursing in my language, that I turned and I thought it's somebody else, but it was him. That's kind of how special it was. I mean, how you explain that? I want to hear that. How is that? I give it 8. Blocks? Yeah, I had some crazy stats with this. I say 8. This kid might be the best in a few years, the Victor, but all time. Dikembe Mutombo, that's easy though. I give him 4 though. I missed one more. Okay, he's a rapper though, I give him that. KD, man.
So there's a guy in the NBA who grew up on a farm in Bosnia, didn't pick up a basketball until he was like 14 years old, and only got discovered because his dad, a 7-foot police officer, broke up a brawl and ended up in the local newspaper. And agent read that article, tracked down the father and said, "You got any kids?" 12 years later, that kid has made over $100 million in the NBA, won a Croatian league title right here in this country, and broke his leg in one of the most brutal injury moments the sport has ever seen, came back from it, and has never, not once, been boring because he is the Bosnian beast. He is Jusuf Nurkić. How are you, man? All good?
Amazing, everything's great.
How's this season been? You look like yourself again.
Yeah, I mean, great things happen when you felt wanted, and everything is about the system. And Utah gave me the welcome, open arms, and I feel like I kind of give back a little bit too. So it's been great, but I think it's even better what we're trying to build there, and the team we're building, and we're looking forward.
Nice. We're here in Zadar, Croatia. You've got a special link to this city.
Special place in my heart, man. I think nothing will be the same without them. I really feel one of them, and I feel like when I see people from here, especially Zadar, they kind of feel the same. To this day, though, even I've been, so low in a life, like span of the 6 to 8 months, almost a year. But without them, my journey will not at all what it looked like today.
So talk to me a little bit about that experience. You were 18 years old, leaving Bosnia. You arrived to Cedevita, and you were on loan for the Zadar basketball team. What was that experience like, looking for minutes, looking for your calling?
I mean, it was, I guess, especially from now, it's a great move, right? Coming to the place, the people here. I always said Luka Modric is from here, right? One of the best soccer player in the world. And it's kind of fell in the second place because these people live basketball. And not to throw the shade, but just how people, grow up here, and the passion for basketball is unmatched. And I didn't understand at the time when I was coming here. It was really interesting for me to see the way people go about it. You try to go to the bakery, buy something, the people would talk about game and what you did great, what you did bad, and sometimes you'll not be able to buy it. Like I saw my ex-teammates, if they have a bad game, they couldn't, they didn't let them buy.
They couldn't get a burek?
No. And opposite, when you play great, you're not even paying. They really, care about it. And I think that's the best, basketball place I play in my whole career, as far as the city and the kids. And it's just a unique situation for me. I took full advantage of. It was a great workplace. The coach and the system was for the young players. And generally, they was really hardworking. We spent 10 hours in the gym, almost impossible, but we did. And he was really psycho about it. And, Ante Nazor, I didn't understand. I was hating him at the time. Like, he will give the whole day off or morning off. And he was like, "Nurk, you're in the building at 9 a.m. or 8 a.m. And so I did not understand, I guess, the part of the growing at the time. But, looking from this distance in the back, it was fully worth it.
You mentioned Luka Modric. He is from here, grew up mountainside nearby, herding sheep with his grandfather. And obviously, because of the time that he grew up, very complicated, politically tense, he was a refugee. And you were born mid 90s, right around that very complicated time during war in Yugoslavia and Bosnia. How did that shape you?
For me, it was, I guess, a little easier. It was, I was a baby, 94. Growing up and looking what actually happened and how happened and all these questions, why, and you kind of see the struggle of the people, like just generally. Everywhere you go, it's kind of reset life from the zero, but I believe it's below zero because you don't have anything, and a lot of people lost everything. You kind of lost 10 years of life to get back on a zero, and then you started from zero, going, about your life and looking the countries, trying to recover what lost lives and all the whatever they had in the past. It was tough, obviously, for a lot of reasons, but these people are so powerful in a way, with all these losses. Bosnia and Croatia showed that they can recover. No matter how hard it is, you have to fight. And that's kind of these people, generally in this region, understand what courage means, like sacrifice you made and for your family, or particularly in our journeys when you going about sports. And I think people I guess have a hard time to understand us because we already saw that what is to not have anything, right? And when you coming from that aspect, then everything else is better, right? So then your back is against the wall and literally you can't go back. You only can go forward. So no matter what happened, like you mentioned, injuries, up and downs in careers are not that much devastating. You kind of, okay, that's just another day. What I gonna do for move forward? How I get better, how I get healthier. So for us, and I just speak from my understanding and my view, my point of view, there was never going back. It was always move forward. What takes to be, at that position. I never imagined to be a basketball player, but here we go, 12 years in NBA. So it's kind of wild thing though.
Yeah, all credit to you and all credit to a lot of the people that have your same experiences, these themes of sacrifice, of resilience. How does that translate into the NBA?
I mean, like I said, it's kind of ties the mentality we had or we having in a journey. Like you want to believe there's no one better, but also you want to put the work in. And when you have a confidence and a little bit of luck with the situation, what you're gonna put in, what league you're playing, and who's seeing you. At the end of the day, you have to play, no matter how good you're working out and being best in practice. At the end of the day, you have to play to be able to show your talent. But I really believe the sacrifice we made and waking up every day with a mindset we have to work, it take us over the limit or over the hump.
So you mentioned your injury. I want to talk about that, your leg injury, which was brutal. It was in a double overtime game against the Nets.
Couldn't win for life, man.
Oh.
Yeah. It was a wild game, though. We have the best players in our team shooting free throws, and they missed each of them. I think Dame and Seth Curry missed free throws to win the games, or they split it. And we just couldn't win. That night was just, I guess, meant to be, though.
And then, you have 32 points, 16 boards. You come off on a stretcher. What was that like? Did you understand the gravity of your situation in that moment?
I did. I felt like it was dirty move. I'm not necessarily thinking that I think Dudley was thinking about that, but the way, his legs are a little bit under me, and sometimes you can't really control it. To this day, I don't believe that he did it on purpose, but obviously it could happen differently. But the NBA is a lot of what if, right? Generally in sports. But that night it just happened, and I remember going to the hospital in Portland, and I was in pain a lot, and usually where we're from, the pain is the only thing you know, right? There is no happiness until you actually see it, right? The pain, through the war, through the all these up and downs, you kind of have that feeling that what that feels like, right? And the doctor show up, I think it was almost midnight, and I eat last time, whatever, pregame meal, 3 p.m., whatever. And the doctor was like, you was my last, you're about to be my last patient, right? And I was like, Doc, I never had in my life having to be last in anything. So how about we come tomorrow morning and do this? And he looked at me like I'm crazy. He's like, that's such a hard thing to do, right? In that position, like you want to finish this the earliest you can. But I also think being the last and having the doctor tired at the end of the day, not saying he will not do a great job, but I also...
You want the doctor in the first quarter.
Yes, I want a doctor fresh, right? And he was laughing, but also I feel like at the time was probably like, this guy's crazy, right? And that's how it went. And then the next morning he showed up and he explained me the process, and it's supposed to be like 2-3 hours surgery. Ended up being 4.5.
Wow.
And like I said, you learn to walk again. And when you look in the journey, like you said, it's impressive. And I also at the time was like, it is what it is. The worst part is over. Thank God for the medicine and all the, medical field got so much better at the time now, and back in days. People was having small injuries or issues, but ending careers.
Right.
But I couldn't really, looking back, I'm like, what if, whatever reason. And for me, the give up was no option.
I want to talk about a couple moments in your career because it feels like you're back to your best. And that was, how long ago was that, 2019?
Yeah, I think it was a lot, 70 years, whatever.
Wow,
Yeah.
and you've been in the league a long time, able to recover and be back at your best, finding your minutes. Let's take it back to the very beginning. You played against Kobe very early on. Got a shirt right
I
behind
actually
us.
signed jersey from him too.
Yeah?
Yeah, personally.
That was in your first year in the NBA.
So my debut though, full debut. And my coach at the time was Brian Shaw. And I said, Coach, and my English was so at the time, especially speaking, understand everything. I said, Coach, I don't know if I can do it. He said, do what? I said, this game is going to be so emotional for me. And I never had idol or looking basketball at the stars and whatever. But the fact I was in walking out of the locker room and I saw him in the hallway, he warming up against the wall. And I'm like, I don't even know the place no more. I forgot everything, right? So the coach was like, you'll be okay, just when the game starts and whatever. And I didn't know I'm gonna play. Like he was like acting like I'm gonna play. So at the time I didn't know NBA was, that much of business, right? And I was like, whatever. So whatever, he called my name, I didn't even hear at the beginning. And the assistant coaches and the teammates was like, Nurk, go in. And I think I run, I don't know if there's a camera at the time there. I think I run opposite, like almost. So it was so fun, but to actually experience that. But then, I start playing and I kind of little forget and you kind of getting that competitiveness in a game. And then he started speaking my language.
No way.
Yeah, like he was...
What did he say?
I mean, he was psycho, man. He was learning, I guess, all these languages so he can talk shit, like literally. Like, so for me, it was like, I guess, funny. Like I was not taking that to the whatever reason badly, but I was shocked that he was actually cursing in my language. That I turned, and I have a still video in a photo that I turned, and I thought it's somebody else, but it was him. Like, and that's kind of how special it was. But then the next game was whatever, or a few games later, KD and all these, at the time I think it was OKC, and the Brian Shaw was like, we have a Kevin Durant tonight, how are you gonna feel? I'm like, I don't really care. Like, my guy was there, so, but it was a special moment though.
That's unbelievable. I mean, growing up, I imagine you watched a lot of Kobe and now you're face to face with him. I imagine you also saw a lot of Dražen Petrović and Toni Kukoc. From this region, Do you think that was more of an inspiration or more difficult to play under their shadow?
Respectfully, I think was really more for them, not for us, but for them was such a difficult to get to NBA, right? I feel like it was at a time, if you're coming from this region to NBA, you're alien. So it was like a very rare thing to do, almost mission impossible, right? Especially with the laws, you couldn't leave the country until a certain age, and then you have to be, that much better. So I think right now, obviously they made a path for us much easier to get to an NBA, but I think it's harder to stay in NBA now. So
How come?
because at the time when you was that good, you were staying there, right? Because it was not that many players. Now I feel like a lot of Europeans in our region getting the chance, getting drafted, but I don't think the kids these days understand how serious it is and what takes actually to be at the best and consistency to stay in the league. And for that reason, in my opinion, it's a harder thing to stay because every year coming new players and a lot of new players, and every year 60 players coming in, 30 guarantee, more hungrier, waiting for opportunity. So I think when people these days getting drafted, they think they made for life. And I think that's the trick, right? I think average NBA career is 3 years.
Yeah.
When you put that in perspective, it's insane, right? I think that the all-time number ever, whoever stepped on the NBA floor was less than 5,000. So in 70 some years. So when you put it in perspective,
Yeah.
it's obviously way harder to actually stay.
Right. So now it's 12 seasons
Right.
for you. Hopefully going on to more, it must be a dream. You're an unrestricted free agent from what I understand. What does the right situation look like for you?
I mean, it's hard to talk about it, I guess. You can't really speak with the teams until July, July free agency. Obviously, myself and Utah as a interest to be back. I would love to be back. I think they showed that they wanted me back. They, at the trade deadline, they could probably trade me if they wanted to. But to me, the message was clear. They want me long term there, and my family and myself, we really like South Lake and Utah as a state. By the way, underrated. Didn't know a lot. But the organization is the best organization I played for. So in my 12 NBA career, Austin Ainge and Danny Ainge and owner Ryan, they just did a lot of things. There's really small things, but mean a lot. Like for example, I always said is like this gas situation in the world, and we going to every game, home game. They fill the tank for our cars, and
Really?
they taking our family serious. And when we not in the market, they taking them certain places, hanging out and do some stuff with them, which is kind of helpful, right? And the kids or the young guys in the team, I was having a hard time to explain. This is not NBA. Like this is not every team.
Right.
It's such a unique situation to explain that every team is a little different. I guess there is a certain standard teams shouldn't be below, but they are.
Right.
And when you have what you have, you want to keep that way. And I think that was probably the hardest thing for me to explain that the young guys, this is elite. This is not what everywhere else.
Well, respect to the Jazz, and hopefully you sort your situation
We'll
out.
see. We'll see. We're waiting for July.
Yeah. Yeah, well-
no job right now, though.
Good luck with that. I want to switch gears because we have the Sofascore Player of the Season. Sofascore has been giving awards to footballers, soccer players, right, in each of the leagues. And now Sofascore is getting into basketball with their rating system. And there is an NBA league MVP, and that's Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, but the Sofascore Player of the Season is Nikola Jokic. How would you compare both players, and how would you compare perhaps an opinion-based vote versus a data-driven result, really, that gives us the Sofascore Player of the Season?
I mean, it's hard, right? We as the players, at least my understanding was we always go back and forth what MVP really mean, right? Is that really individual thing? Is that collective thing with the team and player and how people actually vote, right? So, like you mentioned, two players that anybody who win, I think people will not be mad, right? Even if Nikola won the MVP award, which he deserved, right? But also you can't say the guy in OKC didn't deserve, right? They had a hell of a season. Their team was, winning whole season pretty much, by a lot. So it's hard, I guess, to put in perspective. But when they say somebody has the best season, whatever years, or one of the kind, then they say, but their team is on 8th spot or
Right.
10th spot or maybe 5 spot, whatever. And the guy who actually having similar numbers, maybe great season for himself, but their team is number 1 in the West or number 1 in the East. I think that's it's becoming really hard to judge, right? Because I feel like if it's the MVP individual award, then should be right. Whoever has the best numbers, no matter what position team in, win, right?
Right.
But I guess it's not working that way, at least not for whatever many years now, it's not working that way. So I think it's a collectively thing. What your team is and how you're doing and how many games you play. Now we have a change the CBA, there's certain amount of games you have to play to actually even be considering. So I think that's a kind of tricky part, and I think the people actually don't like that rule because of some injuries are, you can't really say somebody missing game for rest, right? And somebody having some injuries, right?
Yeah. You want to show off the award to the cameras just so we can take a look at the first ever Sofascore? You want to pick it up? So this is data driven. This is very objective. There's no subjectivity in this.
I mean, how you explain that? I want to hear that. How is that?
Listen, I've been working on Sofascore shows for football, and sometimes for football, the data stacks up and you get players that finish at the top of the pile that perhaps you didn't think were the best players in the league or in a certain competition. I think what you're saying, especially for basketball, which is so it is a data-driven sport more than soccer, I believe. I think perhaps you'll get less subjective votes, and here clearly there's no votes. It's whoever performs the metrics the best. And in this case, for this season, it was Nikola Jokic.
But that's what I'm saying, and it's correct. Like, I don't disagree. But to me, like, again, the way right now system work, right, with the voting and media and I guess coaches and how it works in NBA. I think the way people look at it is like somebody having best season, but where their team is, right?
Right.
So that's kind of when we really having the issue about these awards.
Yeah, I think it's in my industry, it's a little bit of a similar conversation with the Ballon d'Or, sometimes there's a lot of politics or lobbying or popularity contest at the end of the day, right?
Business though.
At the end of the day, everything's a business. All right, listen. We're gonna switch a little bit gears. We're gonna do a rating system. So for Sofascore, we have several categories, and it's from 0 to 10. And we want you to rate yourself in each of the categories from 0 to 10. Where you think
Getting tricky.
you are.
Okay, let's go.
Let's see where your mind is at. All right, we're with Jusuf Nurkić, and he's going to rate himself. In the Sofascore categories, we begin with scoring, 0 to 10.
To my career, I guess 7.9.
7.9. I guess this exercise will show how humble or arrogant you are, I guess, right?
We'll try, we'll see.
Okay, next category, passing.
I want to give myself 10, but I'll say 9. Okay.
9.
I really love pass.
Okay, rebounds.
10.
10.
Yes.
The double machine over here.
Crazy though.
Strength.
10.
7-footer. Nice. Speed.
Yeah, I don't know about that data. Sorry. I say 10.9. That number is nice. So defense, right?
Yeah.
Shit, through my whole career, man, that's tough. I don't know. I give it 8.5. We'll see.
Okay. Steals, yeah.
I think I have a great hand. I'd say 8.9 though.
8.9. All right. Next one is 3-pointers.
3-pointers. Through my whole career, early in the career, I didn't shoot a lot. I'm a confident shooter, so let's say 7.5.
How have you had to adapt to the game? You know, when you came in, it was probably very different to what it is now.
Yes, I mean, I felt like I always could shoot, but it's just the time, the coach, and the trust, opportunity. So it takes time, though.
Okay. Free throws.
Here we go. This is the up and down thing. So I would say 7.
7. Okay. Dunks.
I give it 8.
All right.
Blocks. Yeah, I had some crazy stats with this. I say 8.
And basketball IQ.
Ooh. All right, let's be respectful. 9.
All right. Reveal rating. I want to see this. Okay.
8.47.
That's good.
It's not bad, right?
Yeah.
I guess I was not bad.
This is, and I guess this is amongst everybody in
Leaderboard?
Sofascore, even with footballers, you know? Pretty good.
Yeah, Stipe was going wild, huh?
Nice. Peter Schmeichel, hold up, where's
No,
Peter
he's
Schmeichel?
8.7.
8.7. I mean,
Yeah,
one of the
Peter-
most legendary goalkeepers of all time.
Yeah, he's psycho though.
And Georgian Darrascaeta, Uruguayan footballer for Flamengo,
8.73.
number 2.
Yeah.
Very confident. Us Latinos, you know, we're very confident.
I mean, delusional you have to be sometimes too to make it.
That's confidence,
It's
right?
confidence. I feel like to make it, especially at that level, you have to be delusional. You have to be believer, like you said.
All right, so we're gonna take these categories and I'm gonna ask you, we're gonna go through them again, and I want you to give me the best player ever in that category.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll try.
Scoring.
You're gonna get me in trouble, but Kevin Durant.
Kevin Durant. Passing.
Who? John Stockton.
Stockton. I like that. Rebounds. I see that smirk you're
It's
thinking.
tough, man. It's just whoever I pick, you're gonna,
Someone's not gonna be happy.
right? It's tough. Who has the craziest stats all time?
The craziest stats, the craziest rebounding stats of all time.
Or just stats, period. Will
Chamberlain.
Chamberlain, right?
Chamberlain.
Will Chamberlain. Sorry.
Okay, Will Chamberlain.
Yeah, they can.
Strength.
I mean, gotta be Shaq, though.
Prime Shaq, huh?
Prime Shaq.
Break a backboard.
Yeah, he was overweight, but yeah.
Honestly, how difficult is it to break a backboard?
I mean, back in days, I don't know. I don't know how the quality back in days was, but it got to be very difficult, especially in, NBA. I mean, I'm assuming he was breaking all over the backboards before, but in NBA do it, yeah, I mean, he was, especially at that, what he was doing with that strength, animal.
Speed.
Ooh. I want to say John Wall, but I want to say Ty Lawson. I played with Ty. It was a ridiculous speed, but by the numbers, I think John probably win it.
Okay. Defense.
There we go. People from here favorite stat, right? All time is tough, man. I want to say many names, but let's say, I think Rudy has one of the underrated career. I'll give him Rudy Gobert.
Rudy Gobert. Okay. Steals.
I mean, got to be Kawhi. I think Kawhi Leonard.
3-pointers.
I mean, Steph Curry and Dame Lillard.
Free throws.
I take a Kobe.
Okay. Dunks.
Here we go. Dominic Wilkins.
Okay, Dominic Wilkins, best dunker of all time. Blocks.
I mean, this kid might be the best, in a few years, but the Victor, but yeah, but he, all the time. Dikembe Mutombo.
Okay.
Okay.
No.
That's what I remember.
And then last one, basketball IQ.
I mean, I got to give it to LeBron, though.
Yeah.
LeBron James.
Nice. Awesome. All right. So we're doing take a guess with Jusuf. Jusuf, you're going to see a couple of clues, images. It could be a whole lot of things, and you got to guess what it is. So for the very first one.
This is hard, though.
And they get...
1920. This is Jake Lehman.
Let's look at clue number 2.
Game of Thrones. What is this?
Dubrovnik, Game of Thrones. If you want to go back to clue number 1, you can look at clue number 1.
Oh, okay. Now we make...
It starts becoming a little bit more clear.
Bojan Bogdanovic?
Getting closer, though.
Ooh.
There's one more clue.
Dubrovnik.
What's clue number 3? You got clue number 3 right there?
Oh, Mario Hezonja. Man.
Yeah,
there we go.
Nice.
There we go. Took me a while, Mario. Sorry, man. This is, the hairstyle. I forgot that you take a lot of time for that, though. But it could sense.
All right, let's go to the second category.
Okay.
Let me see what, okay.
Yeah, orange, man. This is getting interesting now. Ljubljana and Zagreb. So, Cedevita, I guess.
Yeah, there you go. Once in Zagreb, now in Ljubljana.
Clue 1.
A parking lot.
Parking lot. Bosnia, Belgium, Spain, USA. Whoa. Okay, so Mirza Teletovic.
Correct. Your Bosnia and Herzegovina teammate.
Yes. The GOAT.
Time to talk about the stroke of genius, a couple of moments in your career. All right, so the first one that we have, when you handed the ball to Markieff Morris after posterizing him.
I mean, I believe the game was a little chippy, and these twins are really like talking and nothing wrong or a bad thing, but I felt like they was, going after me in a way, and then he kind of flopped to me. Then I hand him the ball, and I get a tag with a young Nurk, man. I was not really looking for to be a friend.
How old are you?
20, I believe. Yeah, it was.
And just handing the ball to Markieff Morris like that?
Yeah, it was like, okay. I mean, technically, I was just saving him the ball, not hit him. I might need to apply for reimbursement money, though.
Yeah. It wasn't even that sassy.
No, literally, the ball was falling on him anyway.
Right.
But I guess at the time was, differently look at it.
I feel like Bosnians don't like flopping at all.
I mean, the game changed so much, but I think that European basketball, like when we play Eurobasket and just this competition, the referees let more physicality, more like tougher, and I think the NBA has a better way to exit if you're not as big. You can take a charge, obviously anywhere, but like you can flop in a way, and you can die on the screen, and it looks like somebody hit you, and usually not. But I think the NBA a little more avoid flopping in a way. But I think, we'll clear and somehow, NBA is really good about fixing the problems.
Okay, all right. Next, I believe this is your performance against the Kings in 2019. Is that what you got?
Yeah, I found it.
All right. Sofascore gave you perfect 10.
Yeah, this is the only game in NBA history, though, which is wild. They were saying that no one has ever the game like this with these score stats.
Really?
The Hall of Fame called me that night and give up the jersey, and it was a special. I mean, 24, 23, 7, 5, 5. So I guess 5x5 happened before, but never 2020, I guess.
5 steals, 5 blocks, 7 assists, 23 boards, 24 points. I mean, And what did you do with the jersey? You did give it to the Hall of Fame?
Yeah, I did.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, it was a New Year game, right? The first day of the New Year. I believe we was away, Sacramento. I always felt good playing there, though, for some reason.
Wow.
But yeah, it was special.
After extra time. Yeah. Did you know that you were putting in a historic performance?
I did not know until probably, I didn't know that was that much historic, but I did figure out it was 20 and 20 at some point. I didn't know whatever assists and steals and blocks I did have. But yeah, it was a wild game, man. It felt like I was just playing with the AIU game, though. The way that I look at the stats, though. In the real game, it was a close game, though.
All right, and then the last one is your dunk for Bosnia against France. That was incredible. Talk me through that.
Yeah, playing at home, especially in Bosnia, it was already like all-time high. The people were really enjoying and support us. And somehow we always end up playing France, man. I don't know what's going on with these pools and how we selecting. Is it Poland or France, or to me in the groups? Somehow we was playing so many games. And, one of the windows we played home and I saw the opportunity because the Gobert got switched there and I almost shoot it, but then somebody just jumped on my shot. Then I was like, I'm drive it. And then I saw Poirier coming over.
Wow.
But I was already too late, though.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, it was wild, especially the atmosphere, though.
What's it like playing at home? I know that a lot of people might not know the Balkans, and I see these EuroLeague highlights. It's an awesome atmosphere. Like American sports, I don't think could ever.
We design differently, though. By what I mean by that, in NBA, you can literally bring the baby, like newborn, and enjoy the show and having the meal and drink with the family. So I think, and I like that. I really do. I think that's the best part about NBA, safety and especially during the NBA season. You want to have a job that is safe, right?
Right.
And no shades on EuroLeague and fans are fanatics here, and it's different atmosphere. Probably more fun to play. As far as a player, when you think about it, warm-ups are probably less easier. You don't have to warm up when you see 10 or 20,000 fans going crazy in the arena.
Yeah.
But I think it's a just different, culture. So I do like what NBA brings, but I also appreciate when national teams happen and EuroLeague, watching the games, Greece, what happening in Belgrade, and just how much passion they have. Count us, you can't really, when you start counting, you're gonna forget, I guess, someone. But it's such a different feeling for me. But also, when I have to pick, I feel like I'm always trying to have a safety over, such a uncontrolled environment, though.
Right. There's pros and cons.
Right, yeah.
Right. It's like, safety, but then the environment. I kind of feel the same with football. In Major League Soccer, for example, obviously it's not the NBA, but a lot of these players that come from these environments where they play with so much pressure, the fans are at them like this, and then they can be with their families at the arenas, it's safe, at the stadiums, they can walk around. No one's not giving you food at the bakery,
right. No, I really do believe that it's amazing. Love seeing, love playing in the atmosphere, but I don't think 82 games when you can't really bring your family in and I think it'll be a little difficult for me at least.
Right.
But it's probably gonna sound bad, but I think I don't really mean anything bad. I think it's amazing. That's why people play sports here, because they're passionate about it. Right. They're gonna let you know regardless. But in NBA, it's like you can have a bad night, but tomorrow is another game.
Right.
Like it's such a fast pace. I don't think it's sustainable to have fans like that or players like that, though.
Right. All right. Last thing we want to do before we let you leave, we've got this board. This segment is called It's a Match. You're going to see 4 of your teammates. We're going to go one by one. It has a bunch of adjectives, a bunch of description, and you're going to pick the adjectives that best describe your teammate.
Okay.
It's time for It's a Match with Jusuf Nurkić. a bunch of descriptions on the board. I'm going to throw out your first teammate. And opponent.
Okay.
You can choose up to 5.
Let's see. Okay, let's try this. Up 3. There we go.
Jokester, chill guy, and future coach.
For sure, 100%.
Future coach of horses or what?
No, I don't know. We'll see, but definitely a coach.
How come?
I just know.
Okay.
I've been around.
Nice. Interesting. All right. Let's move on to the next teammate.
Book. Let's try to do Big Boss for sure.
Nice.
I will give him that. He take time for that.
Does he rate your guys' fits? Like if he's the best dressed, he's
I
rating
want to
you
say
guys?
he's Mexican though, but I mean, one more. Let's see. I got one in my mind, but not like that. There you go.
Slow driver.
Slow driver. I got old timers though. Can't drive fast though.
Nice. Where does he drive?
Just old cars, but he have a lot of cars there. So nice cars though.
He wants to protect them.
For sure. Cabrios too, but nice.
Nice.
Just
All right.
driver though.
We got 2 more teammates. Dane.
Oh, okay. That's easy though. Let's go. I give him 4 though. Let's go. Wise man, captain, strict. I missed one more. Okay, he's a rapper though. I give him that.
Oh, okay. He's a good rapper, huh?
He's a good rapper though.
Really?
Yeah, he's a good rapper.
And when you used wise man, is that wise man because he's wise, or he's a wise man like?
No, he's really a wise man though.
Okay.
He weigh everything before he do, I think. But he's a good guy though. So he care for everybody. So that's why I think he's a wise man. One of the kind people that I ever met.
Awesome. That's a great quality and attribute to have. All right,
sure.
last one. KD.
Ooh, KD, man. Okay, let's do this.
I think
Okay.
we know that one.
Right. I mean, he's really chill though. I give him that. I think he got brave hard though, but I think, I feel like never satisfied, but in a good way though. Like he always trained to be the best. I feel like he put a lot of time into it. So I don't think he's ever satisfied about work, and he's about basketball whole life. I think that's kind of what fit him, but in a good way though. He's not. He never satisfied in a way, but missing something for him. But
What would you put that's not here?
yeah, I don't want to go viral though. That's a lot of things though. But he don't like this one. Wait. All right, I'll put him.
Coach and friend.
Hey,
Nice. Thanks, bro. I appreciate that, man.
no problem, man.
Yeah. Jusuf, so thank you very much. Listen, a kid from a farm in Bosnia who never touched a basketball until he was 14 and now sitting here in Zadar, a city that you're so connected to, you and your career. It was a pleasure talking to you, and thank you very much. If you guys haven't downloaded the Sofascore app yet, I recommend you do, because we've got a whole bunch of basketball data there to see your stats and all the other players' stats. So, Jusuf, thank you very much.
Thanks for having me, man.